Greetings, Guitaralians. Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a guitar tutorial. I had a request from a friend. He wanted me to do a little something on blues. So I figured I'd kick this off by showing you some rhythm guitar rather than getting into the lead guitar aspect of it. But in future videos, of course, we'll hit on that. This was in the key of A, the thing that I did. And it's real basic stuff. I mean, almost everybody knows this. But you don't have to always just strum whole chords. You don't have to take these big clunky 6-note chords and always strum every single note of them. I mean, that's all well and good, and there's a time and a place for all of that, but if you take some cues from keyboard players, organ players, piano players, they've got these really cool chord things they do with smaller chords, with 3-note chords. And if you're a fingerstyle player with your thumb and your fingers, you can get some of these 3-note chords and really create these nice rhythms. Kind of akin to an organ, like what a organ trio would do, or like a small blues band. And also, if you use picking fingers, that hybrid picking technique that a lot of people are into these days, especially country players, but not necessarily only country, this is also a great way to do picking fingers. So I'm not going to show you the specifics of this hybrid picking fingers technique today. I'm going to show you that lick. I'm going to show you what to do. So we're taking an A7 chord, but we're not just chunking on a big old bar chord, which is, like I said, it's all well and good. That could work. You could even do one of the Chuck Berry kind of Chicago blues style shuffle, some people call that. You can do single notes. There's a million things you can do. But what are we doing? We're doing these little 3-note voicings that move. It's all A7, but it moves around. It has some nice motion to it. So the first chord I do is on the D string, the G string, and the B string. And in fact, all of these chords are on that string set. 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string. That string set, D, G, and B. We're going to stay right there. And so the first chord I do is 9, 7, 8. 9th fret on the D string, 7th fret on the G string, 8th fret on the B string. That's all you got to do. And if you bar it, that's even easier. I bar across the 7th fret with my first finger. That really makes life easier. So you do that first chord, which it's just kind of a variation of an A7. Then you take away these 2 fingers and you just leave the bar, your first finger barring at the 7th fret. That's 7, 7, 7. Then you do this A7 chord back here at the 5th fret. That would be 5, 6, 5. I like to bar it to do that, but you could use 3 separate fingers if you prefer. Now, I don't just do that chord, though. I have this little trick, and this is a very common thing. It's not just my trick. This has been around for decades. But if you hammer on your second finger from the bar, from the open, not open, but your first finger's covering that bar at the 5th fret, and you hammer on your second finger to the 6th fret, you get this. That's a kind of cool sound. What's cool about it is it starts as a minor sound, and it changes into a major sound. So it goes from kind of dark to light. And that's an extremely common thing in blues. That's one of the foundational things that makes blues blues, is that being able to use the major third and the minor third, and that kind of tension between those two, and sometimes being in between those two. That's what makes some great singers sound so great. Robert Plant when he sings with Led Zeppelin, or Bessie Smith when she sang on all those old records. Just the feeling of blues has a lot to do with that major minor tension. We're not going to get way into that. It's a deep subject. I'm just going to show you the lick. But that's what makes the lick great, is these small 3-note chords that all imply basically A7, and then that hammer on. Now you can do more than a hammer on, you can do a trill. See that? I'm hammering and pulling real fast over and over. And that's something organ players do a lot, and piano players. They like those trills too. So that has a lot more motion and a lot more excitement to it than just going. Which by itself can be good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do. Nor is this a bad thing to do. If that's what the music calls for, great. But maybe somebody else is already doing that. Maybe you have a rhythm guitar player laying something like that down. Well, you can do something else. You can do something that complements it. So there you have it, guitar aliens. That is this first blues lesson in A. I'm going to make tabs available. That'll be on my Patreon. I'll link to that down below. You can get to it. You can download that tab and see what this is all about. This is an introductory one, so I'm going to make that one free. You don't have to pay a penny. Just download it and have fun. But again, real slow. And all kinds of little embellishments you can add to it and whatnot. So it's essentially, it's like a A7 version of an A7 chord, also known as an A9 chord. You could consider this a G chord too. We're not going to get into the theory though. D chord, and then the A7 chord. So I'm doing 3 chords in one instead of just chunking away on an A7. I'm doing 3 chords. Guitar-aliens, a nice little blues lick for you. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, click the notify bell, and click on that link down below to get yourself a tab. Alright, Guitar-aliens, take care, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye.